Alright, chat. Yeah, give me a little bit. I gotta mess with the table cam, but other than that, we should be ready to go. And go we will absolutely do. Yeah. Just a second. Cause I gotta angle my stuff. The problem is that I'm using a crappy 720p cam for the table cam. Yeah, the BGM will kick in a second as well. Just gotta set up my stuff. Admittedly, it's a bit haphazard. Then again, had to take a train home, and that one was late. So, obviously, I couldn't be as early, and wasn't granted the grace of a time for preparation. But no matter, we shall sketch, we shall draw. In fact, as you can see here is a list of things. Unfortunately, I'm not using my usual camera stand, so it's a bit rickety. I'm using a box from a puzzle, I think. So, yeah, here are the things that I'm gonna be drawing this stream. Here are the primary requests, as you can see. Here's the Halo 3 Elite. I'm hoping this thing actually focuses, because otherwise it would be a bit of an embarrassment. But yeah, there's the Disney Gundam. I'm probably gonna try and sketch Quattro. And there's a Gym Sniper 2 with a Claymore Roomba with the with the word Nope written on it. And of course, there's the secondary requests of a Snoopy and a Z T-55 medium tank, which I will get to when I have the time. So, I'm gonna pop them into the whatchamacallit. Gonna try and put them into something. But, you know what? I'm gonna... Okay. Give me a second. Gonna... switch to some temporary background that I can have here while I try to correct for my haphazard camera setup. As you can see, I've been trying to get this thing to work, but it emphasis on trying. But yeah, you know what? You're gonna get this nice looking pirate. Subshower is in the place. Yeah, I'm kind of setting things up on the fly. So yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna try and finish setting up my camera for the table. What if I were to use the box I use on my Xbox controller? That should work. Yeah, just a second, chat. Think I've got it. No, a little bit of height might just do the trick. Okay, okay. Yeah, that should probably unfuck the focus on the camera. Let me set up my stuff for the drawing, and also yapping, because it always gets to yapping. Kinda continues. But yeah, nice to have you here. Nice to have you here, Showers in the place. Nice to have you here, chat. Now, I'm gonna pop the BGM in. It's gonna be the ambient from the New York City bar of the game Deus Ex. It's a pretty good PS2 shooter. Alright, hopefully my camera won't stop. Well, hopefully my camera will stop being as finicky as it is. But yeah, we will go down this list. Now, as to what I'm gonna draw, I'm gonna try and pop up a window over here in the OBS. Again, apologies for holy shit, it's John's shirt! Yeah, some can't tell. That's so heavy here, dudes. I'm just gonna retap the doodle list on the stuffs. Well, on the notepad, so that I can pop it in somewhere into the corner, so that the people coming in to the chat will see what I've got on the agenda today. Got a Halo 3 Elite. As requested by Kanto, we got Destiny Gundam, as requested by Shao Reasonable Plays. I mean, Shao Reasonable, yeah, Plays. And also a Claymore Roomba, as requested by PG. I mean, Gem Sniper 2 with Claymore Roomba. Secondaries. Snow. The ZD-59 medium tank. Alright, let's just get the text to be a little bolder. And where's my... Okay, I'm gonna try the window capture. Let's see if... Okay. Window capture actually works for once. That's oddly reassuring. But yeah, I'm gonna try and pop it in here so that I can be like, yeah, this is that's the stuff I'm gonna be doodling. I put it right above the table cam. Here we go. Hopefully the... Hey, camera. Okay. That should probably work. Now, as stated, I'm gonna go grab a picture of a Halo 3 Elite, and we're gonna get to the sketching. So it's gonna be gallery Halo 3, Control S Halo 3. I could have just brand Google Images, honestly. Alright, so there's one funky face. One funky looking face. Alright. I'm gonna use that too. Okay, MS Paint, that's gonna be very handy. And this is what I'm gonna be currently drawing. First on the list. Alright, I'm gonna try and find a way to just... Crap. Why must this thing be wonky? Okay, there we go. We got a proper reference image, and I'm gonna try and draw this one. So, just it's gonna take me a second to go and look up the stuff. You know, see how does one draw the face of it? Because it's got a funny split-looking jaw. Now let's see how, alright, The arm is supposed to be a bit elongated. And then, and the split jaw. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, I can try and draw that. Alright, let's see. Do we have any requests? No, I'm gonna just, go with my usual fuck it, we ball attitude. Alright, we got this guy. Alright. I'm gonna try and yeah. Is it visible on the table cam? Hopefully it is. Because otherwise I'm gonna be kind of peeved at and the fact that the webcam that I'm using for the table cam is it's a bit wonky. But anywho, yeah, I'm gonna start with the arch, with the main arch. This then allows me to make basically the shape for the helmet. It's gotta be something like this. Kind of looks like a cyclist's helmet. Just gonna make it a bit more slender, and I'll make it a bit rounder. It's good. Now that's much more like it. But yeah, I know that the start of the stream was dead sloppy, courtesy of my poor prep work skills. Then again, I admittedly tried starting as soon as possible, so there's that. But yeah, basically, I'm trying to get the main head structure right. I think I accidentally made it a bit too tall, so. And where did I stash the rubber? Oh, crap. Now there's stuff lying all over the floor. Yeah, I think I dropped my pencil holder. Sorry, chat. That on the klutzy side day now. This should be a standard working rubber. I'm just gonna try and erase any evidence of me being shit at drawing things from a game I haven't played yet. I mean, I've tried, you know. I've tried waiting out the discounts to see whether I can go and grab Halo free, but I don't know. Like, I know it's on discount fairly frequently, but I don't know. Never managed to cross the Rubicon, so to speak. But yeah, essentially, I'm gonna be drawing a big face. It's gonna be a bit on the, I guess, reptile side of things. That's how the thing looks. Thanks, Kanto. I'll put the reference for the. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, Kanto. That's gonna come in handy. Many such cases. I tried live streaming on Thursday and it was scuffed as fuck. You should definitely do a Halo stream. Wait for the whole MCC to go on sale. You can get the whole. Oh, for like $10 Hell yeah, I might. I might then. That's a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to drawing. I'm gonna, less yapping, more sketching, right? And you know what? Maybe I'm gonna try and move this box over here. See whether it will work a bit more. I don't know. The camera's still a bit slow on the focusing end, But hopefully, you know, since I'm drawing a thing so early and I ain't using ink yet, so hopefully that ought to help with that. Now I should also kind of start a jaw thing here. This is where I for the more round upper lip. Oh yeah. Ain't here ain't one adorable little bugger. That's kind of where things armor bit comes in. Instead, I mean, I'm using a still image, so there's probably gonna be a bunch of inaccuracies, unfortunately, but I'm gonna try my best. So it's gonna be like this. And now, oh yeah, but that's where the longer teeth start. So I'll try and draw a couple here. Oh, make them nice and prickly. Those in the front, those borders, they look a little bit more bluish, so I'm gonna take that into consideration as well. Make them look like jagged little rocks. Oh yeah. Oh man, I want this guy's dental. That's yeah. I should yeah, this is where kind of the thing gets rounder. So kind of made it look alright, but these bits I have to work the general face shape into that. And the jaw structure should be kind of like this. This. Problem is that I think I overdid it on the upper side. Made it a bit too pronounced, so that I'm kind of lagging behind on the up. You've got a better pencil control than I. Well, I mean, if that's the case, then I'm not. I mean, I'm not particularly a high bar for general dexterity and as far as doodling things goes. Like yeah, I did the thing where I drew every day for like a year straight, but I'm definitely not anything special. Hell, if you saw me with a paintbrush, you'd think that I'm some kind of a special needs child, and and not some silly internet artist that talks about Gundam games for shits and giggles. He was in like his early 20s, so there's that. But the upside of it is that I finally broke the ice on me being a bit too anxious to to grab a paintbrush, since you know, I was snapping up an HGUC for each night with my significant other, and you know, neither of us wanted to use stickers because they were rather lackluster to say the least. So I was like, yeah, we could paint it, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll try and help. And it I mean, it wasn't my best work, but then again, I admittedly haven't really, you know, used a paintbrush for a couple of years. Not to mention acrylics. I've had some run-ins with enamels, but I've been rather sparse with hand painting as a whole, which is something that I definitely intend to change. It's just that, there's a whole comfort zone and how it sometimes feels a bit more comfortable to stay in a place where you're not really improving, but you're not kind of, driven up the wall by the attempts at change. I guess that's the best way to put it. But it's nice that I'm getting out of my slump. It's definitely definitely something that I've noticed recently. Positive change is nice. Anywho, I'm gonna try and get a bunch of plates in here so that it at least has some semblance to the helmet referenced here. It's probably not too not particularly close, but I guess not bad for a first attempt. And alright, let's see. And then right under the mandibles, there's also this like submandible, I guess, looking thing, which is pretty cool. I like this. It's like you got a faction that has bug jaws, and this one's like, you know what? Can I get me some more bug jaws? And whatever armor smith he obviously commissioned was like, you know what? That sounds fucking rad. Here, they have an extra. That's on the house. Oh man, this is gonna be neat. Sefruddin L. I'm enjoying your video on Gun Missile Survive. Please stay healthy. I will absolutely do so. And thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying that. I'm also left-handed, so I have an automatic debuff. Oh well. I mean, we all have our strong points and weaker points. It's I think that even with, I mean, one of my siblings is left-handed, and well, he's like, and something has definitely gotten better. So with stuff, so I don't think it's something that's an impossible feat to Overcome. Alright, let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna try and get the bottom side of it. And just start working in kind of the neck of it. Okay. And from there, oh yeah, let's get the big bulky torso thing. Alright, so here, that one there, but it comes here. It's gonna be here. Got the inner breastplates over there. This one's definitely gonna benefit a lot from me putting in the ink. Because right now the visibility for this one is next to none. But I'm gonna change that. Alright, how many fingers does it have? 1, 2, 3, let's see. Well, actually 4, but that one's hidden. So, I'm gonna try and go for a semi-simple hand. Gonna be like, because that's where the handguard is. And now I go with the big part. I think I should have made the shoulder a bit bulkier, which, there you go. There it is. I'm just gonna make it do a big thumbs up, you know. But I think one thing that should probably come with it would probably be, you know, getting a bit more details on the armor for the main picture. And after that, after I apply a bit more lining, I can definitely go and catch up on the chat, because, you know, keep in mind, that I was not playing the home game. I'm running this on a single monitor, so I have to alt-tab rather frantically to get, well, you know, to kind of juggle everything. Which, you know, it's not particularly hindering in, like, the general workflow. You definitely won't see me complaining, but on streams sometimes it gets a bit frantic, you know, juggling all that stuff. Not that I would complain, it's just a factor to keep in mind. Now, by this, alright, you know what? I'm happy with how it turned out. 2 fingers, 2 thumbs. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I'm gonna make the thumb a little less pronounced. Swing into a second-hand store and see if you can find some shitty old monitor that It's what I have as my second. Actually, I do have one that's over in my attic, but you know, for one, I can't really fit it onto my table. Cause all right, let me give you a picture. All right, so here you can see my hands. Right in front of me, there's a monitor. Right next to me, to the right, there's my mouse and whatnot. Now, right next to the monitor, to the left, I've got a bunch of paper holders, paper files, a cork board for stuff. But the monitors that I have found are very well, that I have in my possession are rather hard to fit into there. So that ain't happening. And if I had to clear out that, I think something else fell off the table to interrupt me. But anyways, that's issue number 1. Issue number 2 is the fact that I I get a bit too autistic about wanting just one monitor because I don't like how awkward it is to alternate between two screens when you're doing a single process and you have to move those mice over. I mean, like as an additional display, that it is very nifty, but aside from that, it's not my cup of coffee. And I would know because I'm not a coffee drinker. Well, technically I am, but I don't drink enough to, make me one. Like, I have a sip every once in a while to remind myself why I don't drink it as often. And besides, for some reason it doesn't happen always. Like sometimes I sip on coffee and I can go to sleep just fine, but sometimes it just fucks up my whole sleep schedule. I know that I could just level off with magnesium, but I mean, both coffee and magnesium will make you shit yourself, so I ain't risking that. That's a double there at that point. And I don't, and I'm not intending to do that. So, anywho, tangent over. Right about now, I should be inking the helmet in. It's not completely there. It's a bit rounder than I would have wanted, but I think I can make it a bit more slender. Although I kind of like the bulk in here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's... So that's one happy Sungeli. Just gonna make this thing a bit rounder. There we go. Okay. Well, that's a sharp looking helmet. Not gonna apply the color, well, any like coloring yet. Like heavier texturing. Because there happens to be a lot more than that on the to-do list. I was about to say to-draw list and I couldn't decide between the two. But yeah. I can probably, yeah, get this thing shaded a bit. Anyways, and there's the other bit. Yet. Now, after this one's done, I'm gonna try and get the fin-like thing that I couldn't really get right the first time around during the whole thing with the pencil. I mean, mechanical pencil, since you know those are at least consistent enough for me to kind of get a feel for what I'm drawing, and so that I can apply the pressure a lot more consistently. Say, consistency is a really good thing overall when it comes to sketching stuff, I find. Either the consistent nature of general practicing and getting good, or the need for consistency in regards to wanting the lines to be a little more consistent, or wanting things to work in a more consistent manner in order to make stuff pop that much more, actually. And now I can make okay, let's get the bulky armor block on the upper mandibles. Now, some in here, some in here. Yeah, what do you think, chat? What do you think? That looking a bit more like a Sungeli? Or not? I'm hoping it's actually, getting a bit closer to what you had in mind with the doodle requests, because otherwise I'm kind of shit out of luck. 'Cause I already started running the ink on it, so I can't really make major changes to it. And that it would currently be an issue. You can see I don't think I'm doing half bad. Yeah, the jaws are there. You can definitely like this. Good heart. Thanks. Nice, nice. I'm glad you like it, then. From what I've seen on the illustrations, these have very thick, whatchamacallits, Very thick nails. Kind of like... It was a bit like, you know... You got a boar's hoof, right? And yeah. You know what? After the stream is done, I might... Well, I can definitely try and get a good snap of it. And post it over on the server so that you can definitely get a better glimpse at the results of my doodling. Both that and yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah. This can definitely work. If I scratch this one very lightly. Just like it's very light scratches is, you know. In place of coloring, I will have created a bit of a texture to the armor itself, which is gonna be very useful since I can then kinda make the shell pop a little bit more. It's a really good thing one can do when drawing. That and knowing when to go a bit heavier with the pencil, and when you get when you know when to be a bit more on the easygoing side, because right now the only problem here is the contrast, which admittedly is getting a bit worse. That's not as much of a problem. As stated, I'm using a bit lighter shade for something, yeah, that ends up being a bit lighter overall, so that's fine. Just gonna do dimples. Lights on it. Another light on it. Oh yeah. On this. And it's gonna be real neat. Just gonna get the rest of these in. Basically get the outline. Get secondary mandible here. And get that one there as well. Now the problem is, admittedly, the fact that I'm gonna have to make that one a bit dark as well, which then creates a problem. However, I can kind of go the opposite route, keeping that one uncolored, which leaves only the armored bit textured, which, yeah, kind of goes in my favor. It allows the other parts to stand out, which in this case is a big advantage, because he's a very bulky guy with a very thick neck. So There you go. There you go, chat. Please draw Halo CE Elite and the Halo 2 Elite. Oh. Oh, you gotta be yanking my chain, promise. Oh, draw Halo CE Elite. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna add it to the secondaries. Uh and is some may know and some may not know. I'm running this stream up to like a bit past 7 p.m. It's 4:57 here at the moment, so if I were to do those, you know, it'd obviously get a bit more difficult to manage in terms of quantity. But yeah, I may try and draw that one eventually. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Just gonna finish up on this one. But mind you, it's on the request list, so at the very least there's that. Now, and done. D-O-N-E. Now, Disney Gundam. Well, there's that. So, thing number 2 is the ZGMF X42 S, also known as Disney Gundam. Now, hopefully, the resident enjoyer of the Disney Gundam in the chat, also known as Shah Reasonable Place, if you're still watching, if you'd like to clarify what variant or whatnot of the Disney Gundam I am to adapt, that would be nice. But yeah, this is something that I'm gonna be drawing next. This guy. It's got a nice pair of wings. Yeah, here! Great! Great. That settles it. Alright, dude, what style do you want me to do that, Disney Gundam in? Should I make him, like, you know, in the flying pose with the sword out? Should I have him do the Palma Flochina shining finger thing? Yeah, what's it gonna be, champ? Also, yeah, I can definitely try and sketch a CE CE Sungeli, even though it's gonna look pretty wonky. So, oh damn. Alright, so I can definitely try and draw one from both Combat Evolved and Cosmic Era, but it's the post from the Freedom movie. Okay, so you want the Spec 2, right? Not the... okay. Okay, sure. Do you want the Spec 2 or the... I mean, it's not that it would matter much on, you know, this format, but okay. Which pose? That's the question. You want the after images with mask thing? That one? So I'm fine with either. In all honesty. In the meantime, can definitely try and wait a minute. Where's my primary mechanical pencil? Is where I would as well sketch the CE Single 2. Guess why not? While I'm waiting for the clarification. One. And this is from the concept art, so okay, finalize the concept art for the combat evolved one. So let's get this. Get second quill-like thing here. Here it's gonna be like right. That kind of looks like a fish then. No. Oh no! It's not going as well as I hoped, but you know what? I'm gonna I think it was the unicorn guy who wanted the CE Elite, so I'm gonna finish on that. So there you go. Big krill thing. It's got these like fins. Its other fin. Please as per armor and that, and finish it with sharp point here. Yep. That's all fine and dandy. However, there's gonna be this. Kind of looks like kind of a jaw guard, which that one kind of goes hard, not gonna lie. There's a secondary spike, and you know what? What is the sword thing? That they usually go with. Draw one, yeah. It's gonna be like that, and there you go. You have the spiky thing. It looks like a gauntlet, but it's a sword. There you go. And they also have the funny pistol. Let's see. There, I DM'd you the post. Okay, thanks, dude. That's gonna come in handy. So the one where it's like, yeah, standing up, prepared to wreck some shit. Okay, hell yeah. Yeah, I can definitely do that. It kind of looks like one of those drawings of angels of old. Like, you know, when they drew Saint Mike trying to beat up Satan for his lunch money again. Oh yeah, sure. I'll do it. Let me just finish the funny blaster thing. Or the other champ in the chat. There you go. There you go. Also make it like very sparky. Very sparky. There we go. I don't have much of a clue how to draw, but yeah. Here's like, see. C-E. There you go. There you go. Their Primus V Unicorn. They yeah, they have. Like, it's a quick draw, but yeah, I admittedly have to get back to the main schedule of sketching, which in this case is gonna be Spec to you. Alright. Oh, there's a good image of the kit. Alright, I'm gonna try and grab a good picture. Oh, let's say it's a transparent one. That's why MS Paint wants to shit itself. Alright, no matter. I will see to it, because that's what I ought to do. Alright, let's see. I'm just... Yeah, I kind of know how to get it. There's the big gun. Big gun is folded. The wings are out. The sword is out. And the other hand is clutched in a fist. Okay. Alright. Let's do it. So, obviously I'm gonna try and get some decent, starting point. If I mess up the pose, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. But, it's not really easy to achieve that while maintaining the pace of a quick draw. So hopefully that's hopefully I make any sense in this explanation. So let's see. I'm gonna try and let's get the main torso thing. I know it's like it goes like here and here, basically. That's the torso block. So what I usually do when trying to draw stuff is trying to get the rough shape of it, and then kind of building on it. So right here we know that it's this one. It's gonna be that. This one's gonna be facing down. Like this. Oh yeah. So basically the main vents arms, those are here. Now, it should probably basically do it. That's the main vent thing. It's gonna be here. Another one here. I'm basically sketching out the rough shapes. That's what helps the most when trying to do like specific poses and whatnot. But yeah, here I go conjuring Destiny Gundams into reality again. Alright, now for the head. I'm gonna try and stick to the reference picture provided to me, so basically yeah, respect the incline, that's what I should be following. That's the main separation point. Now I'll try and use the secondary separation point as the red one. That's where the head is. Now, thankfully, now that we know how big the torso is supposed to be, that will pretty much sort out quite a lot of our problems, because that means this is how the square thing at kind of the bottom is. It's so where we apply the front skirt. But I'm gonna try and keep it lean so that, you know, it, yeah, I should probably do that. Definitely. Oh yeah. Because right now, way things are, you probably don't see it yet because I haven't really started inking it in. This one I have to kind of scratch build. So it's gonna be this. Alright, so pretty much this thing, and also there we go. There we go. Might probably have to use this thing here. Just like that. Oh, yeah, that seems like we got ourselves a torso, at least like the upper part, because with that kind of conjured into existence, we can now start, you know, working on the cockpit block. Since that's gonna be, this is where the kind of support structure starts. Well, this is where kind of the initial structure will go. Oh, that and okay. Let's make this one sharp. Oh yeah. That and with that kind of set in stone, I can now work on making this part a bit slimmer. Pretty much just no. Mind you, I'm going by a picture, so the proportions and the side ratio are gonna be hopefully similar to it. If not, then, you know, still kind of based off of it. I'm gonna try and get the main structure down. Main overall structure, I mean. It's like if now this here, if I were to down like this, it'll give us a pretty sharp lower torso. After which, let's see, we got a bit more of those sharp edges, which in this case kind of work. Honestly, if I were to, I need a steeper angle on this one. But at the same time, I have to retain some of the volume, which kind of puts me in a bit of a precarious situation, but not as much as I would, as my short-lived despair had led me to believe, because this is where I can kind of rectify my mistakes, because I'm pretty much eyeballing it, so it's the proportions are gonna be ass on the first try, but as you can see, I have spotted the source of the issue and I have decided to eliminate it. Because here's the thing, it doesn't have to be spot on with the proportions. That's one of the things that some people may miss. Is that when you're doing action poses, you don't have to be fully accurate with the original line art, you know? It's kind of the big keyword here. Overall, I suppose, is gonna be emphasis, you know. As you can see, there's probably some, yeah, this is where I'll kind of base my shoulders off of, which, yeah. Then leaves me with kind of the V shape, which the kind of the head itself consists of. In my initial sketch of the Destiny Gundam was mostly focused on its head. And the thing about its head is that when you start with the wrong part, just like when you're drawing Japanese symbols, you sometimes... Oh! Wow, is that the hit game Destiny released by Bungie in 2013? I gotta go mow the lawn. I'll tune back in later. Alright, take care, Kanto. Also a funny joke, but yeah. This is what I'll be shooting for. This is what... Yeah. But basically, I'm gonna try and achieve... It's gonna be to get the chin piece. I'm gonna have to kind of... I'd say force it to be more narrow, because it's gonna have to be a lot more narrow than I made it. But, you know, that is why I kind of prepared for it, so. See, chat, I do not think it would be wise of me to, post, you know, show a reasonable place, you know, reference image up on the screen in case, you know, there's any OPSEC related stuff, so I can't really show you. At least, you know, that's, you know, according to my discretion. I don't wanna... I do not wish to, do anything untoward, so not gonna do it, but at the very least, I'm gonna try and make the Gundam on the picture that I have been messaged as close to the real deal as I can. Thing is, the eyes aren't as visible, but that's perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine, as you can see. I mean, he probably can't yet, which that makes sense. And silly old me he has decided to go for a rhetorical question in a place where I can't really, you know, make it land. But oh well. Let's see. There you go. There you go. That means that... Alright, I'm gonna try and gauge the height at which I should make the cutoff point. That's a good spot. It's basically... That's one half of this one. I'm sorry for muttering to myself that much, but sometimes I think faster when I'm thinking loudly, and sometimes when I have... Obviously, you know, it comes with a couple problems, as one might expect. You know, thinking a bit too loud may That'll be everyone's cup of coffee. At least when I do it, so. Let's see, but. Pretty much what we're looking at here is gonna be a very V-shaped V-fin. Okay, I'm gonna try and make that work. Basically, that's gonna be the camera. I mean the secondary camera. You know, the visor. Visor, that's the thing that I'm drawing. Okay. Which means I can now spike it out. And now that I made one of the eyes a bit more visible and the other one a bit less, which was kind of the intention. To kind of try and stylize that. Though to be frank, I wasn't particularly successful with it. However, what I did somewhat succeed at was getting the general look down, because right now I know that this one is gonna be right here. The problem is that I need to get a good reference picture for a closer angle on that head, because this one's admittedly a bit challenging to nail. Like, not inherently, but it has Vulcans, and it has very blade-like vents on top of other things. So basically, what one has to go for initially is this like very blade-like partition, and then from there I'm trying to figure out how to do this one. This is where it kind of thickens. The plot thickens But for reference, I'm right here. I'm kind of trying to. Oh crap! But I'm kind of trying to make this spot work. It shouldn't be too hard, but it's gonna be a tad challenging. Not too challenging either, though. See? Got the main, I guess, whiskers of the cat, so to speak. There we go. And now the head doesn't look too ideal, but it's it doesn't look as bad when you see it up close. Look, here's the camera focusing. See? Ain't too bad. Now, onto the limbs. That's gonna be the hard part. And again, it's admittedly a tricky mobile suit to draw because, well, there's a lot of things going for it. I'm happy that no one suggested strike freedom, because I would have had a fucking aneurysm and a half. Partially because I hate the design, and partially because I'd have to draw it. And it's way too noisy. It has way too many things going for it. Another thing is that crap, I made it too chunky. Yeah, give me a second, chat. Alright, where's the table cam? I'm gonna turn it off for a bit. Yeah, I had to blow my nose. Don't worry, I'm alright. I'm all in one piece. Just okay, yeah. Back to the Destiny gun, though. What I meant to say was that in a bunch of ways, when you look at the Bungie 2013 game, The Gundam, but instead of, a looter shooter that, was kind of ass, unfortunately. You get in a mobile suit that looks pretty ferocious. Like the gun, yeah, it has some color clashes. The green thing, but it looks very knife-like with its design. And honestly, I kind of like the fact that it carries over some design philosophy of the Perfect Strike, while somewhat retaining its own identity. See, I'm gonna do this. And this part, get that one there. Get very this jagged edge. I know I probably didn't nail it completely, but one thing that I think I did alright was the fact that this part is gonna be a bit jagged. Personally, I kinda like this general lean look, because I'm gonna give it a bit more oomph to it by adding on to this one. Yeah. Okay. I don't like this part, the way this part ended up, but it's definitely something I can refine. It's gonna look like spotty line work instead of, you know, a bigger fumble than it is. Which it is. Let's face it. But yeah. I think that my, the way the sort of, proportions ended up, being, was kind of a two-faced sword, if you pardon the pun, since I'm drawing a mobile suit with a big fuck-off sword, right? Is that kind of like the way this thing's looking, but I don't like the way. Yeah. Yeah, if I were to like this. I definitely want to retain those sort of like internal details on this one. At the same time, just, you know, scribble them in. Yep, just like that. It kind of looks like a boomerang I can unholster and, you know, just toss. But yeah, this one's gonna take a bit longer since it's pretty complex. And I can definitely, like, if need be, I can get to it on my own time. Don't you worry. You're gonna get your Destiny Gundam either now or at a later point if logistics demand it. But I'm definitely gonna finish drawing it. That's for sure. to be another fumble, unfortunately. However, I've made it enough for this to kind of yeah, let's see. Now I can okay. Let me check on the chat now. Nice. Nice. Chat likes it. But yeah. It's gonna be another boomerang, but this one's gonna be a bit spikier. So it's from this side. Means the bottom is going to be a bit more lean. The main part is going to be like this. This is a good profile shot for it, because right now I'm going to try and it's not fully there. It's a bit of a bummer, however, yeah, let's see. Oh no. Unfortunately, I've messed up the second boomerang. Not too much for it to be visible, but still noticeably enough for me to be very self-conscious about it. Yeah. Okay then. I mean, still fine as is, since you know it's gonna be like what? A hand here. That just goes like hand here, just that goes like zap. And the other hand here is going to start from like here. Also like that, but a bit less pronounced. Although still pretty bulky. come to think of it, could have possibly asked the other fellas on the server, what they want me to draw, but look, I threw the ping out. The offer was out there, so if they passed up on round 1, shame. But it'd be how it be. Can't really dwell on it. But I should probably move this to the part that I'm illustrating. I'm trying to do the side skirts. The side skirts have the vent shape, which is interestingly bulky on the high grade. Gotta give you that, but I'm gonna try and go for something. It's like oh yeah. Now, if I were to like this. Okay. Also, I'm thinking of making it not as pronounced as on the HG, instead opting for the more sleek look that's seen on the line art. I think that's gonna be a general, a generally overall a generally good choice. I'm gonna have the vents stick out just by a bit. I kind of messed it up on this one, but it be how it be. Sometimes happens. Shit happens. I'll try and flick in this one. Elongate it. But yeah, this is good. And obviously, I cannot forget the wings. That's definitely gonna be there. And also, the thighs themselves. Although in this case, I cannot really apply the saying of fake thighs save lives on this one, since for one, this one's a bit on the thinner side, so I'll have to probably start from here, like this. Another one from like this. Also on the thinner side. That's perfectly fine. Yes, I mean, I'm gonna have to pick them up from that angle anyways. But that's where that part starts, so. There we go. Sorry for being a bit too quiet now. Sometimes when I get a bit deep in focus, I'm like, oh. And you know, I either end up sounding a bit too aloof or a bit too lost to my thoughts, which any dead air on my end, that I can directly deflect the blame onto that. But yeah, that's where the knee pads are. That's where basically the brunt of will be. Well, yeah, there we go. I don't even actually have to. That only by a little bit, since it's gonna be like here and here. So yeah, the way the high grade kit that was given to me as a reference picture handles some things as opposed to line art is certainly interesting. Which at that point I kind of have to pick and choose, which I think I've generally done a good job at it overall. But yeah, I'm gonna start off pretty strong with the knee pads because they are pretty decent, and they do extend quite far, which is interesting. Also formed this interesting shape, so yeah, sure, why not? Unfortunately, this week I didn't have a chance to get caught up on the quacks, so I can't really give many takes on that one. Given that, I mean, that one's a bit topical since, current ongoing Gundam show. Which is a bummer because I kind of like the way that one's unfolding. Though, for what it's worth, I really liked the art edits people did of Shalia Bull's team, pulling stuff out of the water. It's like, this is not something we made. And, there's all sorts of shit. There's Haman-sama, there's of course, the Elmith as per the episode. there was the Tequila Gundam from G Gundam. That was certainly hilarious. Now, alright, so just gonna. I mean, the added bulk to the feet was unfortunate, but it's not that bad. I'm just gonna save these. It's not. Overall, though, and just extend them, because that's what I will have to do anyways. So, and that's the reference picture has them that way. Yeah, that's that. There's that. And of course, let's not forget these. Bits. It's like front of the shoe. And these like spike-esque tips of the feet. I'm gonna try and it's kind of like this, now of course the red part will be still remain quite narrow at the same time. Yes. Now, what do you think of them feet, chat? Alright, that came out wrong. That came out wrong, but you get what I mean. Okay, but yeah, now on to another part. That's gonna be the rest of them hands. Yeah, stuff in here, stuff in there, more stuff in here, more stuff in there. Okay, one thing that I should pay more attention to though is the fact that there's this big armor chunk on both arms, of course. Which, you know, you'd think that it would kind of mess with the articulation, since, you know, given its length, but at the same time it's not covering up the part that pivots. I mean, that hinges, not pivots. Sorry. Yeah, it doesn't, and that's pretty neat. You can do a full bend. I don't know, I like the way, you know, the manuals on the kits of it, you know, explain how things, you know, work, how they intertwine. It's a very interesting experience. You know, letting you kind of appreciate the work that was put into, like, the inner workings of a kit before you assemble it. It's very nice, you know. Kind of like getting a gun manual, or, you know. No, something less, I guess, weapon-like. Thing like all these like more advanced assembly guides for watches. Those are also very nice, because they detail out like how the mechanism works. And This may be a TISM thing, it may not, but I like those. I like those quite a bit. As stated, there's definitely a degree of craftsmanship in making things work. And I think it is nice that quite a lot of hobby things kind of foster the appreciation thereof. Although I'm guessing I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. Let's see. I can't really, yeah. I'm not gonna add too much side details into that one yet, because that's where I have to add the sword. But the hand, on the other hand, and I'm awful with these puns, if they can be even considered that, but you know, just to keep me talking, I'll take what I can get. In all honesty. Because as stated, like, one thing I like about drawing is that it lets me zone out, but that's also a bit of a downside when I'm trying to stream and yap, and sometimes the yapping doesn't yap as much. Just because, you know. Because of that part. But anyways. As you can see, there we go, we got one joint for it, one here, here, and it's gonna be fist. I should probably try and change up the background music. I'm gonna use the other Bart music. So that it doesn't get stale. Yeah, I'm basically doing the arm thing. I don't like the fact that I have to draw it with the shield, since it kinda impacts how the silhouette is gonna be looking like, but you know, it's one of those things that I cannot really do much about, since I'm doing doodle requests and I can't really do quote-unquote variants, because it's not simple enough for me to do multiples of without resorting to, you know, making it digital. But I like working with those digital art programs, because the you know, for one, I'm too used to Microsoft Paint. Second of all, I am woefully incompetent with the usual tools one uses to get the most of it. i.e. those like, I don't know what they are. There's some digital pens that people use with their drawing tablets. I suck with them. Like, it's, yeah, if you want to see me fuck up a drawing, give me a stylus instead of a pen, and you'll see what happens. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion, so I don't see why would you do that, but, yeah, you get what I mean. Should also get, like, this thing. Yeah, just get the closed fist. It's not too bulky, but it's not supposed to be. Just try to make it the simple one, because the way I see it, you know, there's spots where I can definitely cut down on the overhead, which is good because this is a rather complex design. Not that I would mind, but it's definitely taking its toll in terms of time. And I was silly enough to ask for a reference, so there's that. Yeah, right now it doesn't have a backpack yet. The Erendite beam sword is only partially there, but I mean, it's not that bad overall. I can now make a blade. Just goes forward. Okay, can I drag the reference image? No, it just goes all out and it doesn't like really stop. So just gonna make a note of that. On. Thinking of making the base a bit on the lighter side, but so that I can, I don't know, get a decent way to follow up from that. There. See, I can now as you can see, there's stuff that's happening, and Yeah, as you can see, I have done decent progress on the sword. Now, the thing with the sword is that I'm gonna have to make it look sharp, even though I'm only drawing a part of it, since it's kind of cropped on the original one. Basically, I'm gonna make these like small sparkly bits. That's the lowest part of it. And now just continue this like edge, which kind of looks, you know, the intent here is to kind of make a an edge which makes things look very sharp and at the same time kind of translucent, kind of like this. Probably looks awful because I'm really bad with the technique on things that are bit, you know, bit on the serrated side, not completely completely like, you know, linear. But as you can see, I kind of managed to add some semblance of, like, I guess, dissipation effect. So, you know, all is well that ends well, I guess. Yeah, I can now darken this. And this. And this, definitely. And this too. This. This here as well. There you go. See, chat, I've got it. Still got it. Obviously, I gotta add a bit of dark shades in here as well. Oh, I forgot to. No, I didn't. Good. Just gonna. Okay, this part is probably gonna be without a shield, so that I kind of cut some edges in there. Release. Ugh. And now, I guess I gotta do the Gem Sniper 2 with a Claymore Roomba. Don't worry, rest assured I will get back to the Destiny Gundam as well. Just gotta, you know, get to it so that I don't accidentally leave out the dealer request. Yeah, it turns out the Destiny Gundam is a bit big grander in scale. But yeah, I'm gonna draw this dude, the Gem Sniper 2. And it's gonna have a it's gonna have a Claymore Roomba. You might be like, why? Why would you do that? That's stupid. But yeah, that's It is silly, admittedly, but yeah, it is also a funny thing to do. So why would I decline such a fun request? Right, okay, let's see. That's okay. That's a white dingo sniper. Yeah, I'm looking at the wiki. See where I can get a good picture. But also, I have to go get a reference image for the Roomba. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna. Is it visible? It is. Good. Gonna do exactly that then. You're giving away those hands for free. Lol. Anyways, I'm gonna try and make something. Right? That's kind of the crux of it, but I'm gonna try and, you know, make it look kind of toy-like, kind of stylized, but not, you know, just, you know, abstract enough to not take another hour and a half. Let's face it, but at the same time, not, you know, not too abstract. You know, kind of. Kind of in that ballpark of, you know, cartoonishness, I guess. It's, as you can see, my attempt at making things a bit more on the realistic side here, not. Have not been as fruitful. Let's face it. Yeah, I'm gonna hide secondaries now. Okay, that's work in progress. And yeah, so the Claymore Roomba is gonna be a nice little block. I know it's a shaped charge with pellets and whatnot. Well aware of that. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna try and draw it simple. It's gonna be an Roomba. It's one of those things that has to be looking like a claymore. It has to be like this. Also has to be well, another thing. Gonna have a big nope scribbled on it. And make it round. Yeah, I couldn't really fit my other mic, the one that's better, over on the table, so that's the reason why that thing ain't the thing. I'm gonna draw the Claymore Roomba. That's a Claymore. Maybe front towards there you go. You get the front towards enemy part, right? I can now, you know, kind of frame the text. Hey, that's kind of that, and kind of shade it. Why not? But basically, you can see Claymore has happened to be standing upon something circular. So as is a cylindrical platform which has a bit of a subcircle on the top, and what I'm gonna make like these. I'm gonna make the bottom thicker, get the lines pronounced a bit more. Get this colored in, if even by a bit. There you go. You got your Claymore Roomba. And of course, we gotta do the gem sniper that's controlling it. Now, of course, the most detail should go into the head itself, which seems like a standard enough head mold. Let me restructure this a bit. Surely this will work. Just gotta find a good side shot of the gem sniper. Okay, that's the one from Gun Evo with the Vulcan pod, so yeah, sure. I'm gonna have to try and find a way to position the head though. See, I have kinda, set the position of the controller itself, but the problem arises when I have to, so here's the thing, this is kinda where the hands would be. Which means I'm probably gonna be like, hands are gonna be here. Torso is gonna be like probably over here. And probably, fold out the hands like this. But yeah, I'm just, getting the general shapes down, right? As stated. It's gonna be a very simplified look for this one, but basically this is where I could put the feet. Very like Lego-esque proportions, right? But what kind of matters here is the way I implement the head itself. Which I think I'm gonna like here. As stated, it doesn't look the best at the moment. It never does. Never does at first. But this is why, I don't know, most people I know that give this advice in particular, me included, is that, that yes, drafts are good. Drafts are very good. They help you a lot with trying to plan stuff out. I did the mistake starting with the RC controller itself, which, as you can tell, was not the right call. At least not for me. That then kind of throws me off, and it messes up the ratios of the proportions, right? That's also why when learning kanji, the Japanese moon runes that are a bit harder to read and memorize than the standard symbols. And, are a bit closer to China in origin. Those have a set stroke order, which I don't always follow in terms of the few that I know, but I definitely have gotten the general rule of thumb for some of them. That has helped me make them draw them well. Well, better than I started off with, so I would definitely consider that an improvement. But kind of the deal of it is that, sometimes when you start with something, you don't really do as well in terms of accounting for other things. And as you keep sketching things out, the problem itself becomes a bit more egregious each new line, each new iteration. But now, would you look at it? There is one adorable little visor. I'm gonna try and it's gonna be like this, so I'm gonna have to try and a good way to have it kind of incorporated. There we go. As you can see, there's the little tactical lines one might have on a GM sniper or a GM. There yet. I mean, I could go without the Vulcan pod, or with it, it depends. Honestly, I can go either way, but I think it's gonna look better without, so there's that. Let's grab one that doesn't have it. Let's just run a circle. Kind of looks like, the round thing. That's the hinge for a knight's helmet in some ways. Yeah, pretty much just this, and now, what I have to do is just get the elevated point. Oh yeah. The elevated points. And there we go. We have the upper part. Now, the fun part, the good part is, I'm gonna have to put as much effort into trying to think out where the sort of, head thing goes. At least not fully. Now that's has reached some semblance of GM Sniper resemblance. Because right now means I can here, just goes here, right? Yeah. Also go put a nice little okay, and let's see, how should I go about, yeah, let's get some lines here, kind of being like, the general fitty visor look. As you can see, just, yeah, that one, get it like there. Okay, now just get this, that. I'm gonna put in the vents. It's gonna have that obvious Jim Cold type look. I mean, that Jim Sniper has, but it's not like most people look at the Jim Sniper and go like Jim Sniper 2 and say Jim Sniper 2. They're not like, oh yeah, that kind of looks like a combination of Jim Cold and Jim Command with some other Jim parts. It's, you know, the Jim Sniper 2 is just that awesome. Let's face it. I know. I think that it's also nice to look at it as kind of the sum of its visual inspirations. So, you know, that's look. I don't need to make the shoulders too complex, because they're not kind of surpasses stuff that we want to use it for, at least in terms of complexity. As you can see, like I made them quite simple. Anyways, as you can see, I'm gonna make the hands into kind of like this oven mitt shape. And the reason I'm doing so that I can simplify the rest of the construction of the mobile suit. See, that's good. It's like it's gonna go right here, here, right? This one's going here, here. Gonna have the number 3 on it. Kind of as a wink and a nod to the one from the OVA. Gonna have the bulky thing, the chest block is generally a darker shade, so that's that. Now the skirts, they're not gonna be as visible, so I'm gonna leave them out. That's the fun part. When you're trying to do kind of a chibi version of something, you don't have to be as thorough. But yeah, that leaves the feet themselves. Yeah. I'm not gonna make them more complex than what they have to be. Alright, so let's see, it's gonna be like, yeah, there's the knee pad. It's not gonna be S. I messed up the knee pad, never mind. But yeah, it's gonna be like here. I have to like the chunky thing. Can kind of afford to make it a bit like abstract, even though I'm just, you know, making post hoc justifications for kind of fumbling through, right? Maybe there, 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 there. Just like that. Got a sniper with. So what should I? Well, I mean, I could just make it. Like that, and I could probably just add a couple more here. I could probably end the goofy little antenna to the claymore, right? There we go. And that leaves me with like 20 more minutes for the wings, so well, I mean, I did get a bunch of stuff done. I'm sorry for the feet being shown. The, you know, James Sniper 2 when I was clearly working on the rest, so yeah, let's get the rest done. Oh no. Well, back to the Destiny Gundam we go. Oh no, it's gonna be it's gonna be the wings. It's gonna be the wings. I'm not looking forward to that part, but now time to grit them teeth and go for it regardless. I'm gonna leave the shield out. I'm gonna leave the big gun out because they're not really substantial in that composition. I mean, yeah. Not a holstered beam rifle in the reference image. I'm sorry, but I gotta shave things off to kind of make things even feasible in the time I was allotted for this stream. by myself, so that I actually get to doing other things today. Not that I would mind spending multiple hours at an end, drawing stuff that guys are passionate about, and I really appreciate that. I genuinely appreciate the fact that y'all tuned in. Look. Where should... Okay, there's the fold. Over here, right? So it goes like this. See? There you go. Basically the general, I guess, silhouette of the wings. May have to reduce this bump though. I don't like it. But it would be too it needs that bump, that's the problem. So I'm gonna have to yeah. It's a weird shape, that's for sure. But yeah, this is. Well, yeah, kind of on the note of Bungie, since I'm drawing a mobile suit that's named after their, unfortunately, mediocre 2013 installment. What's up with that studio nowadays? Last time I checked with them, I mean, not checked with them, checked on them. See, I'm yapping faster than I'm thinking. Checked on them, they were making some extraction shooter cash grab shit or something. It looked like ass. And apparently they got caught stealing other people's shit, slapping it onto it, onto their haphazardly cluttered assets, which I do find somewhat comedic. And again, that's how it usually goes. Which definitely makes like the general corporal litigiousness in regards to intellectual property rather retarded. Like try and look at the quote-unquote retro hardware re-releases by some of the big players. Within like a couple months, turns out it's just a rip-off of an existing emulator. You look at I know that Games Workshop, you know, those nickel and diming scoundrels, they got in hot water a couple of years back when they tried making some weird license agreement when it comes to like their fan stuff. But the thing is, their own stuff ain't the original either. I mean, ain't particularly original. Especially with how they started off. You know, you could make the case for their later stuff kind of, you know, I don't know how to put it, but kind of, you know, diverging from their like base inspirations, but you know, at the end of the day, they also started from like iteration, so I don't know. Feels very letter pulley. In a way. Then again, one could argue that's pretty much what any, like, I guess, corporation tries to do when it gets big enough. You know, they kind of climbing through the gaps, and then they try to legislate away their opposition. Which is something some of the like big government people do not realize. And when they try and be like, actually, corpus lobby for deregulation, which they don't. Only when it benefits them, you know. Kind of the universal rule of red tape for D, but not for me, kind of thing. I'm hoping, by the way, that the wings came out fine. I'm gonna try and get a bunch more of them done. So let's try not to fumble too hard. That would be ideal. Yeah, that's a couple more plumes here. Basically, what I'm gonna try and do, I'm gonna try and use these small bits. It's kind of a cut-off point for the plume bits. Which then leaves me with a couple more of these. I'm gonna try and here. Okay, well. There we go. I can kind of, get another one, thanks to the fact that the shield ain't there. Kind of due to the fact that I'm kind of freehand. Damn, I used the word kind of a bit too much, but anywho. Yeah, right here I should try and get those general wing outlines there. Just like that. I mean, now all I have to do now is to make things nice and spiky. That's gonna be the wings of light thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna try and use a lot of lines. But essentially, we're gonna have to converge. The general stuff will have to converge into these smaller lines. And basically here. But also, into this area here. So basically, yeah, here, 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 here. Same goes for this part, basically. Here. Let me see. This is going to be the main line. Lines coming off of this part. Then this part. This part. This part. And this part. Basically, these are going to be the wings of light, quote unquote. Yeah, basically, this is the shape of the effect. Now, the thing is, I need to create an outline. Now, what I'm trying to do, basically, right now what I had done, poking back in, damn, you're working on the Destiny, lol, yep. That's what I'm doing. And as you can see, can't tell, I'm already done with the Gym Sniper 2. With the Claymore Roomba. I'm gonna label that one as finished. Done. And the only thing that's left to do is honestly the Wings of Light, which I'm currently hacking away at. But yeah, basically what this part needs that, well, it's gonna be a bit of a light effect, so essentially what I have to do is to make very light strokes, but at the same time, you know, make them very fuzzy. That's what you do when you do like light effects with a pen. At least that's how I do it. So I'm, I guess, explaining my modus operandi. After that, I'm just gonna try and kind of get like this scribbly thing, kind of emphasize certain parts so that it kind of looks good. This is where I a bit overboard. That's perfectly fine, no one will notice. The best part of using very line heavy things, it's like very light stuff. It's very easy to blur some lines that one may not, you know, like there's this, there's that. And would you look at that? Ain't that a beauty? And I guess I would try and finish the Arendite beam sword. Since it feels a bit awkward to kind of leave it there. One quick thing. Beam sword. Give me the beam sword. Oh crap! That's a GIF. Well. All right, change your planes, everyone. I'm gonna go to the Disney Gundam's main site so that I can see the look of the sword. And just, yeah, it goes linear, then up by a bit. That's kind of where I'm supposed to make the edge of it. Yeah. This make it look like the end of a scorpion's tail, right? And I think this effect needs a bit more fuzzier, so I'm gonna just, you know, go around the edges a little. Okay. Yeah. There we go. So we have the hello. Okay, I'm gonna give me a second. Gonna remove this, remove that. Alright, chat. Would you look at these? Here are the fruits of my labor. We have the Halo 3 Elite, the Gym Sniper 2 with a little adorable Claymore. Of course, it has the remote control dingle thing. Another one here. And of course, we have Try Reasonable Places, ZGMF X42S in its full beauty. And, I mean, that should be it. However, show does not cease. Give me a second. Guess I can still run a round of Gundam Memory Stataka no Kyoku. You know, I wanted to have a designated stream for it, since it's like the final treasure that I gotta grind out, but you know, just something to close the stream with. So give me a second. I'm gonna try and declutter my table, and yeah, we're gonna do some Gundam. We're gonna do some Gundam. So that, you know, I'm gonna grab some Kirby Air Ride music. Alright. Are you ready, chat? There you go. We got mission mode. Okay, I'm not gonna launch it yet. But yeah, also, cool thing, here's the suits that I have. And yes, I have the Destiny Gundam, the Impulse, the Blast Impulse, and a bunch more. But that's not currently important. Although, yeah, I do have Char's unit, the Sazabi, and the 1 Year War Char's unit, the Zeong. There ain't the Zaku, so there's that. But yeah, I'm basically running this trio of the Div Scythe Hell Endless Volts version, the Sananju, and the Zeta, because the Div Scythe Hell has very big damage. The Sananju is a decent all-rounder, and the whatchamacallit, the Zeta is like pure speed. But yeah, I basically have to open the survival mode, set the last mission to red, and yep. Let's break some enemies apart. Yeah. Let's go. So, yeah, before I start, I should probably end the shuffle and add a one-time repeat. Yeah. Probably gotta turn down the emulator a bit. Not too much, but just by a bit. One thing that I really enjoy is the fact that the melee hitboxes are big enough to hit multiple enemies if they're close enough. So yeah, you can live your Musou fantasies out stretch free. I really like it. Also, if you're running the Sananju with its power-up, it's fucking ridiculous. I love it. Fortunately, I am way too over-leveled for this category. Now, one thing that I'm kind of missing my Exia repair for is the whole, you know, being able to pierce an enemy guard, but it doesn't matter if I just overwhelm the enemy with hits. Unfortunately, the survival mode is a mode that's, I guess, way too long for its own good. Would be a good description of it. It's basically like beat 6 missions in a row without failing, and if you do it, you're gonna get a new unit. So long as all the units are from a single color category, which, you know, but that kind of leaves me with a bunch more unlocks that are left for me to do. So, you know, might as well stream it. Might as well close the stream on a high note. You know, he had a bit of the general median from the doodling. You know, was a bit more chill, and now we do this. Alright, come here. Get a goo-goo. It's gonna be slam, slam. I'm hoping this doesn't take too long, because there are some stages that are multi-mission, and I don't like them. You know, it's gonna be the thing that kinda, it will kinda suck. Yeah, I'm still not as good with the quick time events, so, you know, that explains why I'm sometimes relying on save states. It'd be how it be. I mean, 3 out of 6 is not bad, especially since this is just kill a bunch of Gazes and then the Cubalate. Which, I mean, since this is a PSP, you can kind of expect the Cubalate to be a bit on the cubicle side, so, you know, if you want to make the pun, you can definitely do, and shamelessly so. That leaves the Cubalate, which the Cubalate is gonna be a long-ranged unit, which means not particularly smart about his options. Hey, boop. See, I have an ace in the hole by the name of Duo Maxwell. 'Cause he's got a long-ass combo. It's like alligators, you know, well, not alligators, it's like, you know, crocodiles. When they get you with the chomp, and then they spin to win. But instead of gambling, they're just, you know, tearing chunks of flesh off their prey, so, you know, they've already won at that point. They're just spinning for spinning's sake, you know, for the love of the game. And because they don't come with, you know, standard utensils, so they kinda have to forego some table manners in regards to dining. Also, yeah, before you ask, the Kshatriya is unfortunately also locked behind this farce of a game mode. But the good news is that I think this one should give me the BD free, so you know, one more UC unit for the pile. Okay, where's the... Okay. Mission continues, and yeah, this one's... Now, fortunately, unlike the Category 1 stuff, the final stage you get here isn't as annoying with its like phases. You just have to kill the DX, which fortunately I have somewhat overleveled my units. Thanks to some off-stream grinding. I don't mean the wink and Arjun and all the type of off-stream grinding when you make number go up without, you know, putting in some elbow grease. I mean like actually playing the game. No, it's this one. I've gotten a lot better at doing the QTEs for the Sananju, because I use it so much. Oh look, Destiny Gundam. Kinda hate to do it to you, but sorry, Shin. There you go. Slash! Okay. Ain't happening. Zeta. Show him who's the rider in the skies! Give him the Shirako skewer. Sananju. Slap him. Okay, anyways. Mission continues, damn. Oh yeah, I damn near forgot. I gotta kill the Avalanche Exia as well. Now, fortunately for me, old Duo here. You know, one thing you know about Duo is that he may run and hide, but he will never lie. One thing he doesn't lie at all is the fact that he's quite the powerhouse, as you can see from like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a lawnmower, but like 500 times more metal. As you can see. Old Sananju did the trick. And just like that, look! Behold, even, we have the Blue Destiny unit free. Which means that the only ones I need to do the mission with are gonna be the Cosmic Air ones and the 00 ones. Which, hopefully that shouldn't be much of an issue. Okay, let's get the Seed of Destiny. I mean, Sneed of Destiny. Not a lot of variety here, but oh well. And as you can see, if we look here, we can scroll right here. We got Yu Kojima and of course Nimbus. Got them both. But yeah, with that I'm gonna be calling it. Sorry, chaps, can't really drag this one for too long. So many thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all hanging out here, you know, making this more fun. And I will see you later. You get a 07. Yeah, Shirtlad, signing out. See ya.